So, hello, everybody. I think we are live. Welcome to this week's Akashic Soul Wisdom Show, where we're going to be talking today about the 3 tips to stop feeling a little bit so icky about sales. So, if you're watching the replay, please type #replay and just let me know you can hear me. If you've got any questions throughout today's show, then please do let me know. I'd love to hear how you're feeling about sales in particular and how you feel you have those conversations with potential clients. It is so important that we have these conversations with confidence, authentically, and being totally ourselves. Now I can see somebody's watching. Can you just give me a wave? Let me know you can hear me okay. Just pop something in the comments for me. That would be really great. So, if you those of you that don't know me, I'm Natasha Harris. I'm an intuitive business coach and healer, and I work with conscious business owners to really support them to stand in their soul power, shine their soul light, so they can have a thriving business that they absolutely love. So today, as I said, we're going to be talking about the sales conversation and how not to feel so icky about it. So I'd love to hear a little bit from you, if you're watching live, if you're watching the replay. How do you feel about the whole sales process? What's your first emotion and what's your first feeling that comes up for you when you think about having a potential client, a conversation with a potential client? What's the first thing that comes up for you? It would be really good to know. So I know I hear this a lot, that this is really, really tough for especially people that have not been doing this for very long, but also for people that have been doing it for quite some time. They really don't love this part of their work. They feel, well, icky. It feels horrible. It doesn't feel great. It feels a little bit ingenuous. It's about asking for money. People don't love this whole process. So what I really want to do is just talk into this a little bit more. I used to really, well, actually, I come from a conservation background, those of you that know me. And I used to work, one of my roles was a manager for a food waste collection recycling company. Now, we were a social enterprise. We were working in Brixton, so we were collecting food waste off the estates. We were composting it in Brixton. It was a fantastic project. It was like really forefront. This was probably, oh God, don't know, 10 years ago. So it was really forefront of the food waste kind of a revolution that started to happen. And I used to go out and I used to talk to big corporate businesses. I used to talk to people who were really high end restaurants, and we used to talk about collecting food waste. Now, not a glamorous subject at all, but I used to think to myself, wow, I don't know how I've managed to kind of land myself some really big clients for the social enterprise. But we had some really great clients working for us, collecting their food waste. And I used to love that whole process, going in to talk to them. I was very passionate about what I did. But then when I started my own business, and the product became me, not the product that I was passionate about, the product became me. It became a very, very, very different story. So, and I really felt uncomfortable with it. I didn't know what happened. I remember thinking, oh my goodness, this is terrible. I don't know how to go from, having good sales conversations with people and getting them to sign up to high-end packages to, really finding this a struggle. And the difference was, it was selling me. It was selling my services. It was selling what I was doing, and I had to show up. And so I'm really good at this. Not my team are really good at doing the collections, and we're really good at, creating a closed loop cycle with the food waste thing. We're giving back to charities and, giving back to local estates, etc. So it became a very different conversation. So I know this for myself. It doesn't have to feel icky, hard, muddled, confusing, scary. It doesn't have to feel like that. It really, really doesn't. So I really want to use today to just really shift the way that you do things, and how you show up for these conversations with potential clients. Because there are 3 things that have really, really helped me, have really, really supported me in having a very different conversation with people around this subject. And the first thing was that I reframed this whole process to be an invitation to come and work with me, not an opportunity to sell. So it became a very, very different type of conversation. I was having a conversation with people to find out what they needed, what they wanted, what their biggest challenge was, and I'll come on to that in a second. But, to empower them to see, actually, did I want to invite them to come and work with me? Could I help them? Could I support them in what they wanted to create going forward? So it became an invitation and not a sale. I don't sell anything. I invite people to come and work with me, and if they choose to, then that's great. The second thing that really helped me to turn this whole thing around some years ago was, if I don't do this process well, if I feel icky, if I turn up with an energy of like, oh, I don't know if I can help you, I don't want to be too pushy, I don't want to, show you and tell you too much about what I do in case you think I'm being, I'm lying or I'm not being authentic, if I don't do this process well, and a client walks away that actually needs me and walks away thinking, oh, I'm not really sure what she does, I'm not really sure what she offers, she doesn't feel very confident about her products, then I am not able to change their lives. I am not able to change their lives. I am doing them a disservice by not showing up fully and showing them that I can support them. So that enabled me to step up and to really have an empowering conversation, to invite them to come and work with me rather than to show up any different. We all know this. When we go and we want something, we need a product, we need a service. If we go and talk to someone, or we pick up the phone to a company and we speak to someone, if they're a bit non-committal, they're not really sure about the product they're selling you, they can't really tell you about the benefits and how it's going to help you and support you going forward, whatever that is. It could be like a new phone network. If they can't tell you really confidently and make you feel inspired and make you feel confident that they are going to do a good job to help you going forward, you're going to walk away and go, nah, I don't want to work with you. That's not the kind of service I want. You want to make them feel that they can trust you. And that's not about lying, not bigging yourself up. This is about being you, being an authentic you. People buy you more than they buy your service. They've got to know that what you're offering is going to help them going forwards and is going to serve them. But if they like you and they can understand what it is you can do for them, they will want to work with you. They will have you like them biting your hands off to work with you. They will be ready to say yes. The third thing that's really helped me is, if it's a no, if they don't want to work with me or they change their minds, I honor it. I honor that. It's okay for people to say, no, I don't want to work with you, or this isn't quite right for me, or, what else can, and if they say this isn't quite right with me, I say, what else do you need? Because if I can't help you, I want you to create a transformation in your life. I know someone who can offer this for you. I know someone else who might be able to help you. I am really ready to step up and offer somebody else's services if I'm not the right person. I never take it personally. I used to. I can promise you that. I used to take this really personally when people said no, and I know that you do too, that some of you do too. But it's okay for people to say no. And when you can get your head around that and allow people to say no to you in a really honest and genuine way, giving them permission to say no. I will always say to them, at the beginning of conversation, I will tell you a little bit about my products and services and my programs at the end, so you can make a decision about whether you want to work with me or not going forwards. So I give them that opportunity to say no to me immediately. It is so empowering for somebody on the other end, because they understand and they're like, oh, okay, that gives me an option. This isn't going to be a hard sell. I have to either say yes or disappear, because there's nothing good about that. So this is never about you. And I was having a conversation with somebody just yesterday about this. Yes, it's disappointing when someone says no if you know you can help them. But that disappointment can easily dissipate, realizing that it's not about you. Yes, it's disappointing momentarily, but this isn't about you. And if a client doesn't want to work with you for whatever reason, it's nothing to do with you. It is always about them not being ready. If you've done this process of working with showing them what you can offer really, really well, then it's their own fear that's coming in. And you might be able to help them overcome that fear that's just stepped in. Fear of spending money, fear of commitment, fear of time, fear of all of these things that come up, which is only natural. And perhaps you can help them and support them over that. And that's okay too. But know that this is never about you. But the biggest thing is for me that what I've learned is to focus on the value and not the price. You want to always focus on the value of what you're offering, and not the price. So if you've got any questions, let me know. Just type a comment in the comment box for me. If you're watching the replay, type #replay. Just let me know where you're at with this whole sales process. Do you offer your products and services based on the value, or are you always selling on price? Because that is the wrong way to look at things. 60% of consumers in the market only make purchasing choices based on value. They do not look at price. That leaves another 40%, 20% buy because it's cheap and 20% buy because it's expensive. Now, so if you want to buy based on value, you want to aim to target and to work with the people that are buying and making consumer choices and purchasing choices and investment choices based on value. That's 60% of the market. That's who you want to be talking to. So I hope that makes sense. You want to be looking at value. It's so important to be looking at that. So how can you go about having a powerful conversation then? I've got a few tips for you. If you're watching live, just pop me a comment. Just let me know if you've got any questions. You know, this is really about having a powerful conversation. This is about you turning up as you, authentically. And this does take a little bit of practice. So be willing to get it a little bit wrong at the beginning. Practice it out. Keep practicing it. But just keep stepping up to being authentically you and having powerful conversations with potential clients. This is what's going to change your business and turn your business around completely. You want to make this conversation really purposeful, and you want to take the client in a direction. So this isn't about the client or the potential client taking control of this conversation. You need to be in charge of this. Think about any product or service that you've invested in. You want to know that somebody is leading you, showing you how they can help you. You don't want to be leading that whole thing, because you just will end up walking away and go, well, I don't know. I've no idea. So make this conversation as purposeful and powerful as you can and steer it in the direction for the client. Explain the process of the client. This is your first few minutes of this conversation is the most powerful bit, because this is where you can really show them how this is going to go. If you've got 20 minutes, half an hour, 45 minutes, an hour consultation, whatever that is, if it's 5 minutes, just explain to them what they're going to get from that time. So you can explain that process. Tell them how they will feel and how they will benefit from working with you. Like that you will tell them at the end, like, of that conversation, what they're going to get from this, what they're going to get, and you will tell them about the services and how to work with you further. If you frame that in the first few minutes, like, this is the process we're going to go on. We're going to be talking about what's coming up for you right now, what challenges you're facing, what you'd like to overcome. Then we're going to talk a little bit about where you want to go and what direction and what you need in order to move forward and what that looks like for you. And then if at the end we feel like this is a match, then I will tell you a little bit about the programs that I offer, that I support my clients with to make a huge transformation in their life. And I will tell you a little bit about that. Is that okay? Is that okay that I'm going to tell you about the products and the services and what I'm offering at the end? This way you have already framed it, and so this doesn't feel like an icky segue from going from a conversation all about them to redirecting it to how you can help them and how they can invest in your services. So this is all about how you can empower them to see the direction that this conversation is going to flow. Also, when you say to them and ask their permission, is that okay that at the end I tell you about my services and how I work and how I help my clients transform their lives? Is that okay? They're going to say yes. Time is our most precious commodity. Clients are not sitting in front of you, or potential clients are not sitting in front of you just out of curiosity. They want to move forwards. It might not be with you, but they absolutely want to know what it is that you can offer them at the end to help them create the transition that they're looking for. It is so important for you to step up to this. I cannot stress it enough. So then you want to ask them, so what is your biggest challenge? Get to know them a little bit. Get to understand what's going on for them. Listen. Understand them. Give them space. Give them space and give them silence to just really be present. We are so busy. The amount of times I speak to people and they're like, this is the first time really somebody has truly listened to me. This is truly the first time someone's really asked me what it is I want from my life, what I want going forward, how I want to show up in my business. And I find that incredible because I'm always listening and asking people, what do they want? What do they need? How do they want to move forward? So, when people really for the first time are heard, whatever you're doing, it's such an empowering process for them just to be given that little bit of space. So really, really listening to them. Let me know if you've got any questions. I can see a couple of people watching. Just let me know if you've got any questions at all. Then you really want to ask them what they want to create in the next 3 to 6 months or however long generally you work with people. Ask them what they want. Ask them what that future self looks like them in that time frame. Ask them what would look different, what would be different about their lives if they chose to work with you. You're already giving them an idea of what that might look like. What are they, and then you've got a clue as to what they're expecting from you, what they need from you, and that will give you the information of like whether or not you're the right person to help them or not. So it's not leading them into answering the question, it's knowing what they need from this conversation. How will their life look different if they chose to work with you in 3 months' time? What would be different about their life? What would be exciting? Ask them, talk to them, get them to envision what that future self looks like. Then if you feel like it's a match, ask them their permission if it's okay to tell them a little bit more about the work and how you feel you can help and support them going forward. Ask their permission. Is it okay that I tell you now that a little bit about how I work? So you can really give them that information. Is it okay? Explain to them what working with you would be like. It's really important that you are very crystal clear about what that would look like for them. What do you offer? What do you show them? What would that look like? And then when they're at the end of that, ask them how that sounds to them. What are their thoughts? What are their hesitations? What might get in the way of you working with me? What is it that still doesn't feel right? What are your hesitations, if you have any? And listen to them. Listen to those hesitations. And if it is something around time or investment or not sure if this is going to work for them, listen to that and help them to overcome it. Just explain to them. Again, not being pushy, showing up as authentically you, that you genuinely know you can help them and you want to help them. When you're talking about price, talk about investment. It is a very different feeling, emotion, and because when we're working in the self-development world, when we're helping people, when we're offering them a service, they are investing in something. It's not, this is going to cost you. To do this, it's going to cost you X. It is about investing in themselves or something they believe in. And let them think about it. if they want to. It's okay. But if they want to go away and think about it, then book them in for that next follow-up appointment. There is nothing worse than, I've had that before, when you've gone to a concert to somebody, you've spoken to them, and you've gone, okay, well, I'll think about it, and you never hear from them again. You kind of think, well, maybe they weren't genuine. Maybe they don't really want to work with me. Maybe I've misunderstood something. And, if somebody reaches out and says, oh, I just want to know, how you're feeling about that, book them in for a session, or if you've got a follow-up session booked in, that really helps them. And let them know it's okay to say no. It truly, truly is okay to say no. So give them some structure on that conversation, and leave them knowing that there is a way out of this their own situation, their own challenge, to create the life and business or whatever it is that they truly want. Let them know that they can commit to themselves. Let them know it's okay for them to invest in themselves. Show them that you have helped others. Show them you've helped others. Tell them about it. Answer their questions. Be genuine about answering their questions. I now love to have these conversations because I'm genuinely intrigued when people get in touch with me and want to book in some of their precious time with me to talk to me about what I do and how I can help them. I want to know how I can help them. I love those questions, and I know it won't be for everyone. I know it won't be for everyone. And that's okay. That's okay for me. It's nothing personal. But if you're not getting anyone in if you're not able to work with anyone as a result of these conversations, you have to be looking, or very low numbers, less than 40% of the people you invite to conversations, if it's less than 40% that end up saying, yes, I want to work with you, there's something going on in that process, that you're not empowering your clients to make powerful conversations and saying yes and committing to a yes to you. It's not what you offer, it's not the price, it's about how you are explaining that. And that's the biggest thing and biggest mistake that people make. Everyone can make their own choices, so it's okay for them to say no. But know that you will want to be seeing at least 40%, if not more, saying yes. Empower people to make the right choices for themselves. Empower them, whether that's a yes or a no. But don't allow them to say no if you know that what they really want to do is yes. Help them to come to that yes. Support them in any way that you feel that you can. So I hope that was helpful for you. If you've got any questions watching the replay, type #replay, ask some questions, tag me, be happy to answer them, and feel free to come and join us in other conversations every week on a Wednesday at 4 p.m. here live in the group. Now, the other exciting thing that I just want to let you know about, every Wednesday at 5 p.m, I am going live on the Awoken TV network. Now, that is the Facebook group Awoken TV. I've put the link in the post here, and I'm going to be going live over there in about half an hour from now. We are launching today. This is a huge community of conscious people and filmmakers and healers to come together, and the experts in certain fields to come together and start talking about all of these things that are really important right now to be a part of the shift on the planet. So I'm going to be talking about activating the Akashic. So I'm going to be talking about the Akashic records, of course. Over in this Facebook group, it's going to be more geared towards business and conscious business owners. Over there, we're going to be talking about more general things. But I'd love you to come and join me over there. So thank you so much for watching. It's a joy and a pleasure as always. And I will see you again here next week live. And if you want to, come and join me over in the Awoken TV Facebook group at 5 p.m. every Wednesday. Bye for now.